Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You will chant the first few mantras, right? Like first few verses. You are going to chant?
Mataji, now we are doing it at the end of the session.
Okay. Okay then. Okay, so we'll go. I'll start sharing my screen. What happened?
Mataji, you were in Yatra or something? Long time we didn't see you.
I am in a different yatra altogether. Okay, so you are able to see the screen? See my screen? Is it visible?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. It's been very long to come to this forum, and after a long time I'm coming. Thank you so much for coming to participate in this hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, the evening class. So today we are going to start a 17th chapter titled The Punishment and Reward of Kali. So before we begin, anybody wants to summarize what has happened in the, what's the current situation and what has happened in the previous chapter? Any volunteers? Quickly, can anyone summarize? So many of you are there.
Mataji, yesterday class I didn't attend. I was in Yatra.
Okay.
So Archana Mataji, yeah.
Somebody who is regularly attending, what is the context that is going on, like the flow, because that is very much important in when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, what has happened earlier and what's going to happen now. So we are going into a new chapter. So anybody remember the title of previous chapter at least? What is the title of previous chapter?
How Parikshit received the age of Kali. Parikshit received the age of Kali.
Parikshit Maharaj received Kali.
Yeah, correct. So what is happening over there? So there were 6 parts where how the Parikshit was an ideal ruler. And as an ideal ruler, how he got married and how he was like, he performed 3 Ashwamedha Yajnas. You all remember?
Yes, Mataji.
And he punished, there was a narration of the punishment of Kali also. But then there were questions that were raised by Shaunakadi rishis. So what did they ask? They all asked that why did Parikshit only punish the Kali and not kill him? So they were asking Suta Goswami that, if it is relevant to, relevant to Krishna, then please describe why it was not, why Parikshit Maharaj did not kill the Kali, instead he just punished him. Okay. And then there was also a theme where you would have heard that, how the devotees lick the honey of Lord's feet. And those who do that, they escape the death. Do you recall anything little bit? At least whatever I am telling now?
Yes, Mataji.
And there was also a mention that where if there are, if we are lazy, If you are lazy human beings, then we are just wasting the day and night. Our nights will become, our days and nights, it's just a waste of our life. And then Suta Goswami describes the movements of Parikshit as a conqueror. So where all he went, where Parikshit conquered all the directions, he became the ruler of whole kingdom. And then in his during his travel, which places he visited, and what all he was hearing from different kinds of people. So people were glorifying his forefathers, his ancestors, like Pandavas, and he also heard that he was also overwhelmed with the devotion also. And then there was an episode where Dharma starts questioning, Dharma asks some questions to the Dharani. So who is Dharma?
Dharma is the bull and Dharani is the earth cow.
Yeah, correct. The mother earth in the form of a cow takes the form of the cow, and the religious principles personification, which is dharma, takes the form of a bull, and they were having a conversation. So then when the mother cow was lamenting, so Dharma asked the mother cow what is the reason for lamentation, of her lamentation. And then what happens? Dharani expresses her intense separation from Lord Krishna. So she remembers all those episodes where Lord was present in the bhumi, during that time, during that reign. And then she was remembering various qualities of Krishna, and also she was sharing her separation of Krishna, and then how she is unable to tolerate that. And also she was sharing the effects of Kali, because she is able to see the effects of Kali Yuga already. The symptoms of Kali Yuga is already been seen, it's been observed. So that's why, like, she's been lamenting and expressing her feelings, deep intense separation from Krishna, with the bull, with the Dharma. So at that time, Parikshit Maharaj arrives there. So this is the scene. So where the Parikshit Maharaj has arrived, when these two personalities are speaking to each other. So now Suta Goswami starts explaining. So how is it that the question of Shaunaka rishis, it's like, why Parikshit Maharaj did not kill the Kali, instead he punished the Kali. So who will read? Volunteers for reading. How are you following now? I don't know what is the.
I'll start, Mataji.
Okay, fine. You're able
Same,
to.
Mataji. We'll be reading sloka. One will be reading sloka translation, and others will continue purport.
Okay, sure.
Like that. Okay. Text 1.17.3.
17.1.
Okay, 17.1.
We are in the first shloka.
Okay.
This is punishment and reward of Kali. So how Parikshit Maharaj punishes and rewards the Kali. So we'll see here. So very beautiful chapter.
Shrutavacha tatra gomitunam raja hanyamanam manatavat dhandahastam cha vrishalam tadrishe nripalanchanam. Translation by Divine Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shruta Goswami said, after reaching that place, Maharaja Parikshit observed that the lower caste Shudra, dressed like the king, was beating a cow and a bull with a club as if they had no owner. Thank you.
Who will do Patpat?
May I, Mataji? Divya Desai Mataji is raising her hands. Hare Krishna.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The principal sign of the age of Kali is that lower caste Sudras, that is, men without Brahmanical culture and spiritual initiation, will be dressed like administrators or kings, and the principal business of such non-Kshatriya rulers will be to kill the innocent animals, especially the cows and the bulls, who shall be unprotected by their masters, the bona fide Vaishyas and the mercantile community. In the Bhagavad Gita 18.144, it is said that the Vaishyas are meant to deal in agriculture, cow protection, and trade. In the age of Kali, the degraded Vaishyas, the mercantile men, are engaged in supplying cows to slaughterhouses. The Kshatriyas are meant to protect the citizens of the state, whereas the Vaishyas are meant to protect the cows and bulls and utilize them to produce grains and milk. The cow is meant to deliver milk and the bull is meant to produce grains. But in the age of Kali, the Sudra class of men are in the post of administrators, and the cows and bulls, or the mothers and the fathers unprotected by the Vaishyas, are subjected to the slaughterhouses organized by the Sudra administrators. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Mataji. So here, so the episode currently going on is there is a that like Parikshit Maharaj is met mother cow and father bull. So now this is the theme is like when you read this purport, like we can understand that how Shudra administrators, like we have currently in the age of Kali. This is, see, the first three to four verses describes the symptoms of Kali Yuga. So the first verse is talking about the Shudra administrators and the unprotective Vaishyas. So why they are called unprotective Vaishyas, we will now understand that. So here, as I said, that Mother Earth, she has taken the form of cow, and personified principles of religion, they have taken the form of dharma, has taken the form of bull, and they are sharing their their grief with each other. They are how they are being exploited. They are lamenting because their most beloved Lord Sri Krishna, he has departed from this material world and is no longer there, and hence they are feeling the separation from the Lord. So just at this moment, when they are exchanging these intimate realizations of the current situation, the king of the entire earth, who is none other than Maharaj Parikshit, who is the perfect king. Prabhupada mentions is a perfect king. According to the Vedic culture, he is called Raja Rishi. Why he is called Raja Rishi? He is a Raja, he is a king, and Rishi also a sage. As Kali Yuga is progressing, we hardly see, we hardly find, actually, we don't see even the real kings, neither the real sages. What to speak of a combination of a sage and the kings? Those days, there, the sages means what? They used to renounce. They renounce everything because they have already performed their duties very well. So they would renounce everything. And then as kings, what is the role of the king? The role of the king is to give protection to the citizens in accordance with the dharma and the principles of dharma and the scriptures. So they follow the scriptures when they are dealing with the citizens also, when they are giving protection to the citizens also. These kings were very, very vigilant to see that like their citizens are protected in all circumstances. So such a king was Maharaj, such one king which Bhagavatam describes. There are many glorious kings the Bhagavatam describes, but one of those kings was King Maharaj Parikshit. He is very attentive to his responsibilities, and hence he was not just sitting, when king means like, okay, I can enjoy, I can sit somewhere, and then because I have everything with me, so I will sit at one place and peacefully and I'll enjoy. No, that was not his mood. His mood is to roam around, wander everywhere in his kingdom, and he will see, he would rather go and check, whether his citizens are truly happy and whether his citizens are abiding the true principles of religion or not, and if they are in, whether they are in anxieties, or are they undergoing any harassment by any aggressors, and if he sees any harassment, and he would give punishment to the aggressors. In this way, citizens are always felt sheltered, protected, and comforted in all circumstances, in the reign of Parikshit Maharaj. So, but this is right now what Parikshit Maharaj is seeing is a very unusual scene where the cow and bull are mistreated. So he was astonished. Parikshit Maharaj was astonished. There are three reasons for his astonishment. First is the cow and the bull was mistreated. The second cause of astonishment is the cow and bull are mistreated by someone who is dressed like a king. But was he actually a king? He was a Shudra who is dressed like a king. And the Rajarishi, being a Rajarishi, could understand immediately that he is not a king. He is just a Shudra. And the third cause of astonishment for for Maharaj Parikshit was it is happening in his own kingdom, in his own reign. It is happening where he is he is looking after, he is an upholder of dharma and justice, and is looking after his whole kingdom as a devotee of the Lord. And he is thinking, how is this happening in my kingdom during my physical presence? These were the three causes of astonishment for Maharaj Parikshit. So, of course, we all understand. The Maharaj Parikshit did not see the age of Kali. They were only just the symptoms of the age of Kali. But we know at least how the age of Kali is. We all know age of Kali is a age of quarrel and hypocrisy, and these things are very quite normal for us, right? We know that whatever is to be protected, it won't be protected. It is not getting protected, right? In this present situation, in the present world, we see this all these things, and which should not be given prominence, we give prominence to those things, and which is to be considered abnormal is considered as normal. Like that it is there. But those days, when even the Naimisharanya, sages of Naimisharanya, when they gathered together to hear the Harikatha that is being spoken for Maharaj Parikshit by Sukadev Goswami, when they came together, and when they heard that about the symptoms of age of Kali, they could not believe. Mainly they could not fathom that the people could mistreat the bulls and the cows. The very idea of this is very unthinkable. This was very unimaginable for them. So because the cows and the bulls were being like they were worshipped. We all know that how they have like why we worship the mother cow. Can anyone say why we
Mataji, she gives milk to everybody.
Yeah, she's like a mother. She gives milk to everyone. And why bull is called father?
Food is provided, like grain is produced with
Grain
help.
protects
Protects the
grains.
city.
Bull.
Bull, actually, what does the bull do? Bull tills the ground.
Yes.
It tills the ground. Because of tilling of the ground, there is a produce, right? Produce of grains. So it is actually maintenance. So it is that the bull is reason for the maintenance of the humanity. So the bull is considered to be a father, because who maintains our house? Who maintains us?
Father.
Children. Only father maintains. And who gives us milk and nourishment and intelligence and all that? Mother. So that's how the combination of cows and bulls, these cows and bulls are considered to be a mother and the father. And Srila Prabhupada explains there are two sinful activities in particular that will cause a very severe reactions. And he also said that that he did not say that will cause, that have caused very severe reactions, that has come in the present world in the form of natural disasters and wide large scale slaughter of human beings. We see, even now we see that slaughtering of humans happening. Why? Because of these two sinful activities. One is killing of the cows, the mass slaughter of cows, and the second one is abortion. Killing of helpless child in the humans. This is also one of the severe like sinful activity. These two are major sinful activities, because these two creatures, like the cows and the bulls and the children, the child in the womb, they are of most offenseless creatures. Huh? So the child in the womb is completely at the mercy of the mother. Hmm? So they are unable to protect themselves. If you see, if you see the cow and the bull, they cannot protect. These animals cannot protect themselves when somebody is harming them. So to such people, you are trying to slaughter them. So that is a biggest sinful activity actually. So I mean, I was hearing that there's one movie, it seems. I mean, I'm not aware of it, but there's some movie many years back, something called Silent Scream. So which has been filmed outside of the world, but the film talks about what happens when the womb inside the mother, when the abortion is taking place. When you cut the baby into several pieces, the baby was cringing into fear and want to move away when the abortion is about to happen, but there is no place to move away. So those things are shown in the movies, but the people soon forget them. Mm. So um, this is how the world is right now. So they don't understand what they are actually creating. Only if the slaughterhouses are made of glass walls, right, then everyone can see what kind of disaster that is taking place when the butcher is killing the cow. And then seeing that, at least everyone will become vegetarian. But this kind of cruelty is still going on in this material world, and we see it very rampantly that is happening. So obviously the karmic reactions are expected. So now, um, like now coming back to the situation, to this today's verse, like Prabhupada is saying that, like, unprotective, why like the Shudra administratives and unprotective Vaishyas. Why? Because Vaishyas are supposed to be meant to protect the cows. Hmm? in like, if you see Krishna and Balaram, they are also from the community of Vaishyas only. So what was their principal uh, work? They used to engage in the uh, in grazing the cows and the bulls, right? Like, the Balaram has what? Balaram has a plow. He used to take the plow. But if you see Krishna always with the cows. He's, behind Krishna always some cows are always there, or in front of Krishna some cows are always there. And for Balaram, he has a plow, and what he used the plow? The plow is used for um, tilling the land. So it means that he is personifying the bull. He's representing the bull. So nowadays, what is happening? Instead of using the bulls and the cows, people are using the tractors, and instead of using the cow milk, they are using powders, milk powders, and hence these Vaishyas are called as unprotective. And what used to happen in olden days in Vedic culture, the cows and the bulls are considered to be as their own family members. Once there was a um, there was one environmentalist. He wrote an article. There was one from state, like the agricultural festival that has happened in New Delhi. So from all the states of India, the farmers from different states have come there, and they were conducting a state-wise exhibition. So each one has different stalls. So there was one state federal officer from the government of India. He came to see that exhibition, and he was going around each of the stalls. And when he came to his own state, he came to the farmer of his own state. He saw that his farmer is still using the technology of bulls and cows, and he's not using the modern technology like tractors and so many other things. So he thought, like, why these farmer is still using the old stuff, old way of agriculture. Like, why is he following still that old way of farming? He want to educate him. So he told to the farmer that world has made a lot of advancement in terms of technology. So modern people are using tractors, but you are still using the bulls. So if you want, I can arrange for a loan for a low cost, and maybe you can start using it. The farmer is very simple, and he is also wise. Even though he is illiterate, he is very wise. Why? Because he just said, he just told to the told to the minister that, no sir, I'm not in need of it. I'm happy with the way I till my ground and produce the grains. I'm not going to use the modern technologies. I'll follow my convention methods only. So the minister was not quite happy with this. So the minister thinks that, oh, he may not be able to pay back the money. That's why he's saying like that. So he says that, you don't need to pay it. I will gift you. I'll gift you one tractor. You can use it. But then he refuses it. So the minister could not understand why is he refusing it. The farmer says only one sentence. He says, tractor cannot love me. Such a simple answer. And minister has no reply to it. Meaning what? Cows and bulls were part of his family. It's not ordinary thing. Now people keep cows and cats and dogs as a pets in the house. This is a decline of our value system, our Vedic system. But in the previous ages, they used to keep the cows in our house, cows and bulls, and even when they become old, even if they die, they used to cry. They used to cry. But nowadays, what happens? The moment it's all about the reality of this Kali Yuga is what? It's all about how we can use the things. Everyone is thinking, how it can be used. The moment it cannot be used, it has to be thrown out. So the moment the cow is not producing the milk, the bull is is not able to do any work. That's it. They just send it to the slaughterhouse. They don't mind even slaughtering them. This is how the culture is. So this is the, that's why Prabhupada is saying this is the principal age of Kali, and that people of low class mentality, without any Brahmanical culture, without any spiritual culture, they are taking posts as administrators, as kings, and they're killing the innocent animals, and then they are arranging for a large scale slaughterhouses. So, we can see this, how the first symptom of Kali Yuga is already been explained by Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are also seeing it. It's not that, it is a first, it's not just a hearing. It's not a theory for us. We are seeing it very vividly. Okay, we'll move to the next shloka. Who will read?
Divya Mataji is raising her hands, Mataji, and Kushumlata Mataji was raising to read the purport. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shloka 1.17.2. Vrasham Branala Davalam Mehantam Iva Bhibayatham Vepamanam Padaikena Siddhantam Shudra Taditatam. Hare Krishna Mataji. Can I read translation also?
Yes, Mataji, you read this translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The bull was as white lotus flower. He was terrified of the Shudra who was beating him, and he was so afraid that he was standing on one leg, trembling and urinating. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The next symptom of the age of Kali is that principles of religion, which are all spotlessly white, like the white lotus flower, will be attacked by the uncultured Shudra population of the age. They may be descendants of Brahman or Kshatriya forefathers, but in the age of Kali, for for want of sufficient education and culture of Vedic wisdom, such as Shudra, like population will defy the principles of religion, and persons who are religiously endowed will be terrified by such men. They will declare themselves as adherents of no religious principles, and many isms and cults will spring up in Kali Yuga only without any particular principle of religion, and as a result, there will be total indifference to the principles of religion. The citizens will be free to act as they like without respect for sadhu, shastra, and guru. The bull standing on one leg indicates that the principle of religion are gradually diminishing. Even the fragmental existence of religious principles will be embarrassed by so many obstacles as if in the trembling condition of falling down at any time. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here the bull was as white lotus flower. So what is the Sanskrit word? Mrinala Dhavalam. So here the bull is considered, I mean, the description of the bull is given as, the personification of religious dharma. Bull has taken, I mean, is white, is as white as a white lotus flower. So the color white, actually, what does it represent? Color white?
Purity.
Yes, the color white represents purity. So there are different kinds of lotus flowers, right? And what does a lotus flower represent?
Krishna. Lotus.
Lotus flower is compared to Krishna. Okay. But why for the Lord? We call the Lord as Pankaja, right? Lotus is called Pankaja.
Mataji, Lord's first creation was lotus. After that only Brahma was created. So always we compare Lord's eyes with lotus. Everything we compare with lotus only.
Jyoti,
Lotus
Mataji.
feet, lotus arms, lotus eyes, like that, Mataji.
Yeah, correct. Actually, lotus, why there is lotus? Because lotus actually represent the purity. So now when we are calling the bull as a white, in the form of color, description of the color as white, and also white lotus flower, means we are emphasizing here, Sukadev Goswami is emphasizing that the dharma is as pure as, I mean, it's emphasizing that, dharma is very, very pure. Okay. And just like water also, I mean, just like a lotus, in Sanskrit, like there are various, for one word, there are various synonyms that you can, you can derive in Sanskrit. Like here, Mrinala Dhavalam. So Dhavalam is lotus. Mrinala is actually lotus here. The word Mrinal is used. Otherwise, lotus is used as Pankaja. So somebody has said that, the Krishna is compared to lotus, right? Lotus eyes. Anybody remembers the verse? You already read in the 8th chapter.
Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangre.
Yeah. So the lotus, the Lord lotus feet is also called as, the Lord feet is also compared to lotus. And there is a reason why it is, why we compare, because lotus is very important flower for us. As time and again in Srimad Bhagavatam, you see that, the comparison is made using this flower. There are two significant reasons. The first one is for its beauty. Okay, lotus is very beautiful. And that's why everything about Krishna and Krishna consciousness is beautiful. So that's why Krishna, they say that, the garlands, Krishna is wearing the garland of lotuses. Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, Namo Pankaja Maline. He is wearing the garland of lotus. And then Panka means what? Panka means word. Sorry, water. And the Jan means Janma. So that is born from water. So the lotus is born in the muddy area, but it remains very pure, right? So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, how we should be like. Anybody remembers?
Like leaf of the lotus.
Padma Patra Ivam Bhasa. So Krishna says that just like how the water doesn't stay on the lotus leaves, a devotee is also, they work in the material world, they stay in the material world, but they are detached. Eva means like, Ambasa means water. So lotus leaf is in the water, but that doesn't get wet. If you pour water on the lotus leaf, the water just goes off, but it doesn't stay on the lotus leaf. It doesn't get wet. So that's why the lotus is very, very pure. So because of its beauty and purity, everything in spiritual life, in the spiritual world, especially, spiritual things, actually Krishna is more beautiful than lotus. But just because we cannot compare Krishna just with the lotus. Sometimes we compare Krishna's eyes as sun and the moon and all that with the material things that we see here. Why? Because we, being material living entities, we can only relate with the material things over here. So how beautiful the lotus flower is, to that extent, we can imagine, oh, the Lord is so beautiful. But Lord is beyond the beauty of the lotus flower. But still, we, the great sages, they describe it so that it is easy for us to relate to. Okay, so Mrunal is also another word. So, like Ambuja, Kamala, Kamal Lochan, they say, Kamala Netra, Kamalaksha. Aksha means eyes. Kamala Nayana, Padma, Saroja. These are all like lotuses only. Nalini, all these.
Kamalam.
Yeah, everything is lotus only. So we also know that, lotus are of different varieties, right? You see only white lotus. Any
No,
other colors also you
pink is
people
also.
saw?
Yes.
Pink,
Ah, we
pink,
have seen
red,
pink. We have
blue.
seen Neela also. Blue also is there. Blue lotus flowers are also there. There are different varieties, different colors of lotus flowers available. But because dharma is pure, religious principles are pure, so to emphasize its purity, Srimad Bhagavatam compares dharma to lotus flower. And which lotus flower? White lotus flower. Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
Prabhupada here is very beautifully, this is very important. He is mentioning this. So we all see this anyways. So Prabhupada says this. In the age of Kali, for want of sufficient education and culture of Vedic wisdom, such as Shudra-like population will defy the principles of religion, and persons who are religiously endowed with will be terrified by such men. They will declare themselves as adherents of no religious principles, and many isms and cults will spring up in Kali Yuga. This is also one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga, only to kill the spotless bull of religion. So now how the bull is standing? Standing on one leg means 3/4 of religious principles are already gone. And it is only 1/4 of religious principle dharma is existing. That is the situation in current age of Kali. This is how it is. And the state will be declared to be secular or without any particular principle of religion. And as the result, there will be total indifference to the principles of religion. This we see, right? There are people we see who are atheists, who don't believe only in the Lord. In Kali Yuga we see, right? There are atheistic people who doesn't believe in the Lord at all. And there are people who are agnostics. Remember agnosticism. Did you hear this word anytime? Who are these agnostics? They believe that the Lord is there, but they are not active believers. They are skeptical. They'll think, oh, whether the Lord is there or the Lord is not there. And when circumstances are favorable, they think, okay, Lord is there. When circumstances is not favorable, then they doubt, oh, maybe Lord is not there. Do you come across such people? When something bad happens to us, people are there, right? Who says,
Yes.
maybe God is not there. They tell like that, right?
Yes, Mother, they are filled everywhere. Like we can see most
Yeah.
of them like
Yeah, and this is what Prabhupada is talking about. And there is another term that is very popular, apathism. Anybody knows?
apathism. Yes, Mother.
Means what? These kind of people, they don't care whether the God exists or not. There are many other things to take care of for them. So they don't even bother whether the God exists, God does not exist. They are always worried about their own things. Hmm? And what about isms? We have communism, capitalism, socialism, and different types of cults. And these every now and then you will find different people, different cults coming up, and people just simply believe whatever whatever these people come, these new sages, they come in the form of uh, what else? Nityananda. There are so many people who come, so many organizations, so many spiritual foundations. These are all the symptoms of Kali Yuga. So when a Shudra comes to the rule, what is it is called? It is called communism. And Vaishya rules. Vaishya is not supposed to rule. But when a Vaishya rules, what happens? He makes the whole country capitalist. Capitalism prevails. When Kshatriya comes to rule without any Brahmanical guidance, what happens? There will be dictatorship. But when Kshatriya is guided by the Brahmana and he rules, it is called monarchy. So there is a large scale degradation that is happening in the Kali Yuga, because in Kali Yuga, Shudra like men are defying the religious principles, even though they may roam around as an educated people. This is one major characteristics of Kali Yuga is a doubt, where you go to a school but you don't believe, that you don't have faith. School, colleges, how many of us will have faith? You go to a hospital, do you believe in a doctor? You never know whether he will admit and he will give proper treatment or not. Some faith we show, but there is always a fear in the heart. True or not, in this at this age, at least at this point of time, anybody have that feeling? At least I have that feeling. If I go to any hospital, I don't believe them at all now.
scared, Mataji. What they will do, we don't know.
Yeah, small
Diagnosed
thing,
wrong.
it may become big thing. We have that. So this is unreasonable. People will give so many explanations for not surrendering, for not believing in the God. People are filled with multiple ideas, multiple thought processes, which they think that they know everything, and that's why they don't surrender. These are all the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Prabhupada is mentioning all these things here. So we'll move to the next shloka. Yeah, Sudha Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Dandavats.
Gam cha dharma dugam dinam brasham shudra padahatam vivatsam ashru vadanam kshamam yavasamichatim. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although the cow is beneficial because one can draw religious principles from her, she was now rendered poor and calfless. Her legs were being beaten by a Shudra. There were tears in her eyes, and she was distressed and weak. She was hankering after some grass in the field. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So we'll not read the purport here. I will give you the summary of it. So here we see the distressed condition of a cow. It talks about how the cow is in a distressed situation. So cow, what all cow gives? Cows gives panchagavya. We all know, right? It gives cow, it gives milk, it gives ghee, it gives butter, it gives cow dung. They are all used in performing the yajnas. Cow's urine, right? These are all pure. But what is the torture that a cow is getting? Calf is separated from the cow. Right?
Yes, Mataji.
So they actually, these are like Prabhupada mentions here as the next symptom of age of Kali is the distressed condition of a cow. This is the another symptom of age of Kali. Milking the cow means drawing the principles of religion in the liquid form. The great rishis and munis would live only on milk. These are called who they are called as in Sanskrit Dugdha rishis. Dugdha Hari Babas they are called. Some rishis and munis would only live on milk, and some live on fruits. They are called Falahari Babas. Who are we? We eat what? We eat pulao. So we are pulao babas. So how can we shelter? How can we protect a cow in a city? Where we are living in flats and apartments. It is impossible, right? So Prabhupada mentions that there are 5 weaklings in the society. If you make them happy, the whole society will become happy. The first one is children. How the children are actually they're innocent. Children are innocent, but they are powerful leaders. They are the future powerful leaders. If you take care of them properly, then they become a great leaders and great preachers. Like example is our own Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Mohan Day, he very well trained Abhay Charan. He wanted to make Abhay Charan a devotee of Srimati Radharani. He wanted him to learn mridanga. He got one small mridanga and he was playing mridanga and would make him attend Rath Yatras. Now you see how Abhay Charan, Srila Prabhupada has become a great preacher. Because of him, everyone is becoming a devotee. So one is children. Children has to be protected. And the second one, who has to be protected? Women should be protected. By all in the society. By everyone, woman has to be protected. What happens if woman is not protected? We know. Whole Mahabharata was fought. Because just one woman was not protected. The Ramayana war was fought. Why? One woman was stolen by the Ravana. So what happens with the women? Like why they are so important? Because when they protect them, they actually you are protecting the saintly progenies. If you protect the Kulavati Naris, even Bhagavad Gita says, if the women are not protected, what happens? Varna Shankara happens, right? But if they are protected, what happens? They become Lakshmi. They become the personification of Lakshmi only. Why? Because woman gives service. They do service. They render service to the elders in the family. They give encouragement to the husband. They nourish and give protection to the children. She can become a goddess of family when she is protected very well, and she will take care of all members of the family. When she is protected very well, whole family becomes happy. If one woman is disturbed in the family, the whole family becomes disturbed. Right? Am I true or not? So these are all the subtle principles which the modern men cannot understand. In olden times, in Vedic times, the people would blindly follow those principles which were told in the scriptures, and everything worked out very nicely. But modern man, he may ask questions, but it does not have a brain to understand the answer also. So the second one is, the second weakling is the woman needs to be protected. And the third is old people have to be protected, especially protected from the anxieties. When they especially they are beyond 50, 60, 70, 80, so that they can peacefully perform their devotional service and go back to Godhead. Actually, old people are asset in the family. They are very silent, but they silently build the leaders of tomorrow, because they have so much of realized wisdom, and they can also share the bhakti also. They can also give bhakti to the people. And along with this old people, the cows are the fourth one that they need to be protected. And who are the fifth one? Who is the fifth weakling? The Brahmanas. They should be supported by giving the charity to them so that they can distribute the spiritual wisdom. That's why Srila Prabhupada is comparing this Vedic age with Kali Yuga age. He's giving, he's drawing the parallels, how in the Vedic society, how they were, and how in Kali Yuga, how it is becoming total unhappiness. So Prabhupada is giving one principle for us. Let us take it from the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam and adopt the principles for the total happiness of humanity. So if you adhere to the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam, we become very happy. Okay, and the next shloka, who will read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prapacharatam arudaha kartashvara parichadam mega gambiraya vacha samaropita karmukaha. A translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaja Parikshit, well equipped with arrows and bow and seated on a gold embossed chariot, spoke to him, the Shudra, with a deep voice sounding like thunder. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Thank you so much. So here Prabhupada says, yeah, we can read. It doesn't take so much time. Yes, Prabhuji, you can go ahead and read.
Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. An administrative head or king like Maharaja Parikshit with full majestic authority, well equipped with weapons to chastise miscreants, can challenge the agents of the age of Kali. Then only will it be possible to counteract the degraded age. And in the absence of such strong executive heads, there is always disruption of tranquility. The elected show battle executive head as representative of a degraded public cannot be equal with a strong king like Maharaja Parikshit. The dress or style of royal order does not count. It is one's actions which are counted. Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhu. So here, the root cause of mismanagement, is being explained by Prabhupada. But in the translation, we see that now the scene is the Parikshit, like the symptoms of age of Kali is being described. The 3 symptoms of age of Kali is being described by Sukadeva Goswami, and now he is saying that Maharaj Parikshit with his deep voice now is going to speak. Speak with whom? Speak with Shudra. So Prabhupada is mentioning now, he uses this word show bottle executive head. Why it is called show bottle here? Because we see that now the the government which is formed is also is not formed by the by on its own. I mean, means like by the majority. It is like always like 60% and 40% votes one will get, 60% vote one will get, and they combine together other parties and they come together and they start ruling the country. By doing that, what happens? If one party does not cooperate, then the whole system will fail. Right? So Srila Prabhupada says the government of Shudras is the government is of the Shudras, by the Shudras, and for the Shudras. So anybody can give quickly. It will not take much time, but still we have to read another shloka also for today. But this is very important, just to draw some things to think the greatness of Parikshit Maharaj in today's administrative society. So can anybody give give some differences of elected show bottle executive head, which Prabhupada uses, versus Parikshit Maharaj? One example I'll give, then you can understand.
Selfishness, Mataji.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So these these ministers, the elected executive, the executive head, they only have the show bottle executive head They are very selfish. They have their selfish motives. But Parikshit Maharaj is never selfish. He's selfless. He is only for the welfare of the, he only thinks for the welfare of his kingdom and his citizens. And he considers citizens, not only citizens, I mean human beings as the citizens. They consider even the animals and the living creatures, all living creatures as his own praja. This is one difference. And another difference, like one I'll tell, like the person who is elected, he himself do not have good qualities and hence cannot teach to others. Whereas Parikshit Maharaj is all good qualities. Thus, and because of that, he is able to keep the Kali also away. Right? This is one thing which I'm sharing. Like that, there are many things. Anybody wants to share, think the differences.
What a king should be the one king is the one who will be representing or the fighting in front. But nowadays it is like the our politicians, they'll be inside a safe place, and all the soldiers will be going and fighting and dying for the country. So that is also one of the differences.
Yeah, that's one thing. And one important thing is
Not following the religious principles.
correct. They don't follow the authority. Whereas Parikshit Maharaj was following the authority. He is following the Vedic principles. He would follow his ancestors. But now today's government, there is no authority. They don't follow any authority. They don't follow any scriptures. And today's system in government, laws are changed according to their own whims, right? But during Parikshit Maharaj time, the laws are never changed because he was following the scriptures. Now, who is elected? The Parikshit Maharaj has been elected by intellectuals and surrendered brahmanas. But nowadays, who is electing the government? Even the tribals. I've heard that even tribals are even voting. So it's all a number game. Anything else? Any important? There are a lot of things, but any other important?
Welfare of the people.
Yeah. So if anybody does any mistake, Parikshit Maharaj, as we saw here, that he can subdue he will subdue the aggressors, or evil mongers, or whoever it is. But why? Because Parikshit Maharaj was very strong and he is very mighty. But with respect to today's government, even if there are aggressors, they just postpone the punishment to such aggressors. Sometimes actual culprit is escaped and he doesn't get any punishment on. That is how the government is right now. So that is how the degradation is happened in our society. Okay, let us read the last shloka and then we will summarize also at the end. Who is going to read?
Ma'am, Mataji.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Text 5. Kaspam Macharane Loke Balandhasya Balan Bali Naradevo Siveshena Natvat Karmana Dvijaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, who are you? You appear to be strong and yet you dare kill within my protection those who are helpless. By your dress you pose yourself to be a godly man king, but by your deeds you are opposing the principles of the twice born Kshatriyas. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So we'll not read the purport. I'll just give the summary. So here, now Parikshit Maharaj is asking, who are you? He's saying that you appear very strong, but you are killing in my reign instead of being a king. I mean, you are dressed like a king. A king, what is the position of a king when he is a king? What is he supposed to do? His characteristic is he is supposed to protect the praja, but instead of protecting, he is killing. So he's doing the deeds which are opposing the principles of twice born Kshatriyas. So he is here. Parikshit Maharaj is a very good soul, just like Pandavas. He is imbibed the same spirit coming in the line of Pandavas, and this is one of the lessons which we can also learn, that we can also represent the Guru Parampara, bringing down the same flavors of teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu everywhere. So now here Parikshit Maharaj is a very ideal Kshatriya. Just like Yudhishthira and Arjuna, they are supreme well-wishers of everyone in the society. Even like they were very obedient, they were very faithful devotees of the Supreme Lord, and they are very strict, strictly adhering to the religious principles. And they are always the servants of the Brahmanas. They would always listen to whatever the Brahmanas would give the advice. They would always listen to the advice of the Brahmanas, and they always try to do ultimate good, not only for the human beings but also for the lower creatures, for all the animals and other lower creatures. And they're also completely selfless, as the one Mataji said, and they gave shelter to the entire country. Similarly, the Parikshit Maharaj is also like them. He has imbibed, and he is a noble soul. So that is why he is asking that, hey Kali, who are you? You appear to be very strong, but you dare kill within my protection. So he's asking, how can you kill? Because you're posing like a king, but you are not the king. Your deeds are supposed to be taking care of giving shelter to the citizens, and giving protection to them. But what you're doing a opposite of it. So even in Parikshit Maharaj time, there were so many kings. Even in the Pandavas time, there were so many kings across the globe. But all those kings were subservient to the one king. So there were many kings, but one king is the main ruler of the whole kingdom. So, like for example, during Janak Maharaj also, there were many kings who would pay tax to him. That way, the kings would expand the kingdom. Just like how ISKCON is bound by the invisible thread of principles and standards laid down by Srila Prabhupada, but we see there are so many ISKCON temples, and in every temple they follow these Brahmanical principles which has been laid out, right? Whatever, like in every temple, like one person in the West, once Radhashyam Prabhu was saying that one person in the West, I think in HSBC, some program they did, and then that person, the executive of that HSBC bank, when he went to a different, like he went to US, some temples, some ISKCON temples, and he went to UK in some ISKCON temples, and like that when he would travel different countries, he would go and visit the ISKCON temple, and then he would see there everywhere they were following the everywhere they were following the what do you call, like the Mangal Aarti. Everywhere they see that Prabhupada is there. Prabhupada is seated, and everyone is doing Guru Puja, everyone is doing Mangal Aarti and Darshanarti, and everyone is reading Srimad Bhagavatam. There are Srimad Bhagavatam classes are happening, and morning classes happen, and there is a cooking happening. There's everywhere, if in one place, the Mangalarti is happening in 24/7 in ISKCON temples. One place it is over, then another place it will start. It is like that. So we are following the principles just like that. How we are following whatever is being laid by the principles and standards laid by Srila Prabhupada. Like that, earlier also in Vedic times, the kings would follow whatever is being laid down by the main king. The kings who were subservient to the major king, they would follow the Raja Rishi. They would follow the Raja Rishi, and they would do whatever they were supposed to do according to the principles laid down by the king. The small kings would do that, but here that is not being followed. So Parikshit Maharaj is catching the culprit Kali here. So he's telling that, you're wearing the dress like a king and wearing a crown, but beating the cow and the bull. He is opposing this. Whatever whatever this Kali personified is doing the actions here. So now tell me, like, what all we have to summarize what we have understood from these 5 shlokas. Now what's happening here, the scene, at least someone summarize today's.
Symptoms of Kali Yuga, Mataji.
Sorry?
Symptoms of Kali Yuga we saw.
Yeah.
And
So
how-
here, what is the context? The context is when both the cow and the bull, the mother earth in the form of a cow and dharma in the form of a bull, when they both are talking to each other, who comes? Parikshit Maharaj arrives there. And at that point of time, Sukadeva Goswami is describing the symptoms of Kali Yuga. So what is the first symptom of Kali Yuga, Mataji? Anybody remember?
Cow is being mistreated, Mataji.
Yeah, correct. And then second?
Bulls are also not taken care.
Yeah.
The cows and bulls, if are of no use, they are sent to slaughterhouses.
Yeah, correct. First we saw Shudra administrators and Vaishya, unprotective Vaishyas, right? How because of them, this is the first symptom of Kali. Because of them, the cows are not being protected. And then we see that when the Shudra comes to the rule, then there is lot of cults and isms are formed, and which degrades the whole society, right? And the third verse talks about the distressed cow. That is another symptom of symptom of Kali Yuga. That's what Prabhupada mentions. Next symptom of age of Kali is the distressed cow. He says that, right? And then we saw in the 4th shloka, the root cause of mismanagement. What is the root cause of mismanagement? The show bottle executive heads of the society. And the 5th shloka talks about how Parikshit Maharaj identifies the Kali as a impersonator, and then he asks him, like being dressed in a king, posing yourself as a godly man, you are actually doing the activities which are opposing the principles of dharma. Okay? This is what we have learned in these 5 shlokas today. So from tomorrow, Parikshit Maharaj will ask more questions to Kali. And more symptoms of Kali Yuga you can see. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Anybody has any questions, comments? Somebody has raised hands. I don't know. No questions, then we can wind up the class. Thank you to everyone for your patient hearing. I know that I have I've surpassed the time, but still you people patiently stayed back. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya vasindhubhyasya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnav ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Mataji, thank you very
Mataji,
much.
Sloka tomorrow we are reciting, right? Archana Mataji has messaged.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Mataji, I delayed it because I joined little late and these were little important verses. So I thought like we can go little deeper.
Thank you for the detailed class, Mataji. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for the class today. Very, very detailed.